Good evening, everyone. My name is Amanda Day, and we are here on night 6 of the 2017 Twin Cities Film Fest, presented by Fleur de Junk and hosted by the Shops at West End. And we are here talking about a subject that is very close to my heart. I have a 13-year-old daughter. We're talking about this film called She Started It. And I'm here with Sarah Hartman. And what we want to really focus on is this film changes the conversation from math is hard for girls, that kind of, can I swear? Am I allowed to swear? Okay, I'm not going to swear. To what are you passionate about, and who are your visible heroes that you can look up to? How did you hear about this film?
I heard about it through the board of directors that I work with at Ellevate, and through Ellevate, they actually brought it to me, and we've shown it previously in the Twin Cities. It was a huge success. We brought it to General Mills and showed it to hundreds of women there who have all found their path up the ladder in their own way, and we just wanted to bring it to the broader audience in the Twin Cities tonight.
I'm so happy because this is something that has to be told. And what I think is really interesting is I'll talk to people, they're generally men. I love men. Men are great. But they're like, this isn't really a thing anymore. And then we have a Breitbart article that came out a few months ago that said women's brains are really not built for STEM. So what we should do is limit them in the college STEM majors to 5 to 10% because they're taking away all of these future jobs from men. How does that make you feel?
Well, I actually work for a technology company, so it hurts to hear that. If I'm honest, 20 years ago I never would have thought that I would be doing today what I'm doing, selling technology and services as a female. I'm one of the only women that works on my local team here in the Midwest. But every single time I hear my boys, I don't have a girl, I have 3 boys say, Mom, you scream like a girl, or Carter, you scream like a girl, or Jacob, you scream like a girl. I think that there's a lot of work to be done. And it starts with the younger generations, and my generation and those above me need to keep charging. So I sell technology. Who would have thought? I was an English major and I sell technology.
So one of the things that I think is interesting, so I have a son and a daughter, and they're teens, and so I'm trying to read a lot of books and do a good job of raising them up to be feminists that believe in equality for everyone, to be people who believe that race is not an issue. It's just one of the wonderful things that makes us not boring. If everyone looked the same, how boring would it be? And there's that little adage that says, okay, here's a puzzle. This parent and the son is in the car. They get in a terrible accident. They get rushed to the hospital, and the surgeon sees the child and says, "I can't work on this child. That's my son. How can that be?" And our generation's like, "I don't know. I don't get it." And my son immediately is like, "Well, the mom is the surgeon. Like, is that an issue? And I hope that your kid's age and my kid's age, that we're changing that conversation. How can we get involved locally, or what can we do as humans, not parents, but just humans, to kind of change the expectation? Well, that's a really big question. Or, what do you do?
So what I decided a couple of years ago was that I needed to just start paying attention to something that I knew was a big problem, and I was invited, thankfully, to be a part of Ellevate, and it is a women's only group, but we do stretch into men, and we all have a lot of male mentors that got us to where we are today. So it isn't gender specific, but I think there's so many things I do now more consciously because I decided to join Ellevate in my day-to-day life, and it might just be a conversation with my child, shutting down the "we don't scream like girls, we scream like monkeys," or whatever it is that I say. But my sons are my day-to-day, and then professionally, what I have done is welcome Ellevate into my life. I think there's a lot of other great organizations out there, and you just have to decide to find one and make it a priority and take time for yourself and for the future of women.
Absolutely. I think another thing is that we as women need to see that we're on the same team. And men are on this team too. And we never dim each other's lights. You know, that we look at each other and we say, how can we elevate each other? Which it sounds like you're doing. So thank you so much for bringing this film to us. I'm really, obviously I'm a little bit passionate about it. But thank you so much for bringing this. It's so important. It seems like now more than it has been in a while.
Yeah, it's the perfect time. So we hope you enjoy it, and we're so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. All right, let's go watch your movie.